that's for sure. Never have to close the door. Been a long time, a year before, and I'm missing you so bad.
Hi guys, welcome back to Exmo Lex. I've talked a bit recently about how important I think it is for as many of us as possible to share our stories. And I believe that this is important not only for ex-Mormons, but also for anybody else who is a part of a highly controlled religion, such as the Jehovah's Witnesses. And I've mentioned in a few different videos how sharing your story, even on a small scale, can end up making a big difference in people's lives. Today, I kind of want to explore this a little bit more and answer some questions I've had people send. And let's just say that since doing the Mormon Stories interview, I've had a lot of thoughts about this. So I want to start off by offering some advice to anybody who might be considering sharing their story. Over the past couple of years, I've definitely had a lot of thoughts that go something like, I'm not even sure this is worth sharing. There are lots of people who share their stories about leaving religion who do it better. They have better production quality, they're able to voice their thoughts better, they are more eloquent, they're smarter, they're better at remembering facts and quotes, or they're just generally cooler than me. I've honestly thought about that a lot, especially when I think about my favorite creators, and I kind of just feel inferior to them. And that's not their fault, that's just like my little anxiety-ridden brain doing its thing. And I try not to have self-deprecating thoughts like that, but it's just hard sometimes, you know? Like, it's really hard not to compare yourself to others. So sometimes when it comes to sharing your story online, it just feels like, what's the point? And I get that. It's easy to doubt yourself. And even recently, I've had thoughts like, my story is so average, like why would anybody even care? But then one of my patrons and a really good friend offered some perspective that I hadn't really considered before. He said that part of the reason people watch my content and how they can relate to it is because my story is kind of average. And that's not a bad thing. It just means it's more relatable to a lot of people. And here's the thing, regardless of if your exiting religion story is average or not, your perspective, your experiences, your journey, and the things you've learned are still valid. Somebody out there somewhere will be able to relate to it, and if the right person stumbles across it, it could change their life. So I guess what I want the main takeaway to be is that if you've ever considered sharing your story, but you've had similar thoughts as I have about someone else could do it better, remember that just because you're not an expert, just because you're not super smart or really good with words, just because you don't have a professional camera or a really nice microphone, doesn't mean that you can't offer a really meaningful perspective. I have family members that I don't think will ever watch my content. But maybe if a close friend of theirs who just happened to be ex-Mormon decided to share their story in an Instagram post, maybe they would take the time to read it. And maybe they would learn something new or just have their mind opened up enough to come talk to me. And that could change my life. You just never know the effect your story could have. If you've considered sharing your story before, but you just aren't sure where to start, I would just say you've got to start somewhere. My first video was filmed completely spur of the moment on my cell phone in my car, and I edited it and uploaded it onto YouTube on my phone. I didn't get a real camera to film on or a computer to edit on for over a year after I started making YouTube videos. It was all done on my cell phone. But that first video still has more views than any other video I've made on YouTube that all have better production quality than that first one did. It's okay if it's not perfect. Your perspective is important, so just start somewhere. And like I've said before, it doesn't necessarily have to be a thing you continue to do forever. There are ex-Mormons who made like one post or 2 YouTube videos that I watched when I was making my way out, and they made a big difference to me, but that person never made any more content. And that's totally okay. What they did mattered to me, and I'm glad they did it. So even if you just make one Facebook post, one YouTube video, one TikTok, one anonymous post on Reddit, that can be powerful. The ripple effect that has happened in my life because of other people speaking out about the church is almost indescribable. I'm a mom of 4. I'm a 7th generation Mormon. And because of other people speaking out about what they learned about the church, I'm no longer a member. My children will not be raised in the church. They will be happier, healthier, safer, and more free. And now I've shared my story and helped some other people too. The Mormon Church is powerful, and it has billions of dollars to spend on propaganda, but nothing is more powerful than the truth, and that's exactly what the church is lacking. So if you've ever wondered if you should share your story, take this as your sign. And if you want to share your story, but you're not comfortable doing it publicly for whatever reason, consider an anonymous platform like Reddit. Or if you guys want me to share more of your stories for videos, let me know. I'm always up for doing more of those, sharing missionary stories, exit stories, mixed faith marriage stories, etc. I really hope that this can inspire some of you to share your own stories because I think every single one of them is important and powerful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and a special thank you to my patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you for your support. Extra special thank you to Anthony Guthrie, at Keegar, Craig Call, Doug Davis, Mormonland, the guiltiest place on earth, Jake Nunyabiz, Jason Wilkins, Melissa Jane, and the Exmo Candle Company for supporting at the Demon tier on my Patreon. If you would like to support the channel, you can find links to do that in the description below, as well as links to all my other social media platforms so you can see more content. As always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!
Never revealing no secrets you're keeping. These promises strong as a spell. I'll never tell. Yeah, I like you, that's for sure. Never have to close the door.